there, boys. How you doing today? We're going to play a little bit of BTD5. I'm going to show you how to beat awesome with the Spike Factory. I almost said beat awesome with the Spike Factory. Be awesome with the Spike Factory. First off, the hotkey for the Spike Factory is M. Sadly enough, I don't usually use that because, based on like where you put your fingers and stuff, you usually just like, it just doesn't work out very well. Alright, first off, and also, this is my opinion, so if you don't like my opinion, go down in the comments down there and tell people why I'm wrong, or something like that, because that would be awesome. Alright, so Spike Factory, yeah, we're going to use M, or just click on it, because that's just the easiest way to do it usually. Where do you want to put a Spike Factory? Well, in very rare circumstances, you can put a Spike Factory like up in the front or, more towards the middle, but most of the time you want to put it near the end of the map. Now, if there's multiple places where the Bloons can leave, you usually want to get multiple Spike Factories. Sadly enough, that the Spike Factory is not perfectly equal where it puts its spikes, and sometimes you can actually make it so it's like, you get 8 shots in a row on one side and then 0 shots in a row on the other, and that kind of sucks because sometimes you lose lives because of that, and that can be not very fun. So yes, Spike Factories, usually you want to use multiple of them. Now, one thing that I usually use the Spike Factory for, which is I think most people have the biggest problem understanding, is what do I use the Spike Factory for? Well, I use the Spike Factory for the trap. I don't really use it for popping power. I use it so, like, if anything does end up getting through, I got a fail-safe back there who can pop the rest of them, and hopefully pop all of them. If he doesn't pop all of them, it's kind of sad. But that's one thing that people don't think, that, like, they get confused about, is, like, they're thinking, you know what, get, like, 5,000 upgrades for the Spike Factory, oh my god, get them all over the place, and then he's going to be all the popping power you're ever going to need. No. He's not very much popping power. He's not very good at all, to be honest with you guys. He's just a good fail-safe to let not random Bloons that got through your normal defense to get through. You're much better off building other towers that have a lot of good popping power compared to upgrading your Spike Factory, and that's why I just barely get upgrades for my Spike Factory, including in Bloons Monkey City, and I never get them in battles either because they suck in battles. But in Bloons Monkey City, I almost never get the upgrades higher up, like bigger stacks or anything. I try not to do that because, like I said, I think there's better towers to get for less money that can do more popping power, and that's the way the Spike Factory should be used, is just as a fail-safe to make sure nothing else gets through. Sometimes, I guess, you can get the bigger stacks. That's okay if maybe you feel like you need just a little bit more balloon popping power in the back there. Okay, maybe a 1-0 Spike Factory. But beyond that, I would highly recommend not going for it. So let's talk about the upgrades now. Like I said, always put it in the back here unless you have a very, very special circumstance or you know how to use it a little bit better way. The first upgrade is the bigger stacks upgrade. So you definitely always want to get the bigger stacks upgrade compared to the faster production, because the faster production does not make it shoot 2 times as fast, where this does make it shoot 2 times as many spikes. So this is definitely the best first upgrade. Also, on top of that, $800 is more expensive than $700. So for sure, you definitely want to get this bigger stacks upgrade. Nice. Next upgrade beyond that is the white hot spikes. This is very self-explanatory. It's $900 for lead popping power. Is it worth it? Probably not. Probably not at all. But you have to get it if you want to get further upgrades along this path, and that's probably the main reason why people might get these red hot spikes. Or if you're dealing with DDTs. DDTs are a big problem in Bloons Monkey City. If you gotta get some balloon popping power for those guys, or so DDT popping power, I guess it'd be Moab popping power, I guess. You want to get these guys up and make sure you get a decent amount of them because DDTs are pretty darn tough. But that's that with the lead popping power. Then you move up to this next upgrade here, which is Spike Ball Factory. The spiked balls, modified to produce heavy but vicious sharp spike balls instead of regular spikes, do extra damage to ceramic Bloons. So this is another tower that does extra damage versus ceramic. But at the same time, how often do you get ceramics getting to the very end of the map? Not very often, and that's why it's usually just kind of like a little bit of a waste of spike balls. Like, I mean, it's okay, I guess, but it's really not that amazing. And you definitely don't want to build a Spike Factory up in the middle here just to get ceramic popping power out of it. You usually don't want to do that, so highly recommended against. As far as balloon popping power goes, though, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad at all. If you got some random Bloons coming through here, you're going to get this guy making some pretty decent amounts of spikes, and they're pretty decently strong as well. You can tell that, like, all these Bloons, which really isn't that many, are getting killed by like a couple spikes, just a few little baby spikes. They don't explode yet, sadly enough. That's the next upgrade, but it's still pretty darn decent. Then, now, there is the next upgrade, which is the Spiked Mines upgrade. Rigged with heavy explosives, spike balls are set to go off when they lose all of their spikes. Now, that's pretty cool. It also shoots a lot faster compared to the other ones. So now you're noticing that the spike balls are getting shot out a bunch faster than the other ones. So you have all these things, and then once the Bloons get there, then they explode. So yeah, they're pretty darn solid, especially if you get a bunch of Bloons kind of like right next to each other, like a Moab pops out, and you have, like here, we got a Moab popping out. He's not that great versus Moabs. He's decent, though. He's decent, though, for sure. He's got a decent amount of Moab popping power. And then when they come out, it's just the ceramics are just going to go boom and get completely rocked very, very fast because all the explosions are going to happen so quickly. Watch this. It's very, very quick. Moab popped, and then ceramics all get taken down right here. And that's the cool thing about the explosions. If there's a bunch of balloons right next to each other, they do a good amount of popping power. Whereas they're probably not quite as good versus a lot of pink balloons. You just set up massive quantities of pink balloons. You'll actually have these spikes not do that amazing versus them. It's just kind of surprising. You know, you can take down a lot of ceramics, but you can't take down a lot of pinks. It's kind of weird. Now the explosions don't do much damage versus them, and the pinks are actually going to start sneaking through your 4-2 Spike Factory? Really? Pinks are going to sneak through your 4-2 Spike Factory? Yeah, pinks are going to sneak through your 4-2 Spike Factory. On the other hand, if you have, I don't know, just silly little pinks are causing tons of problems. If you have, like, I don't know, probably like, well, let's check it out. This many rainbows, you can oops, paused it. Whoops doodles. You can probably take them down with this Spike Factory, I think. I don't know, we'll check it out. It might be kind of close, but check it out. Because they're so close together, they're going to do a lot of balloon poppings and explode the other ones. And we take them down really, really easily. So that many rainbows we take down, but we can't take down pinks. And that's why bigger, closer bundles of balloons are better for the Spike Factory, or used against the Spike Factory. Like lots of ceramics can probably get taken down as well. Get all these guys, take them all down. I don't know, probably can't take down this many. That's actually quite a few ceramics. I didn't even realize that. And also, this isn't even an upgraded 4-2 Spike Factory. This is a 4-0 Spike Factory. I didn't get the faster upgrades for both sides, but look at that. Oh my goodness, didn't even deal with them. No, didn't even do a good job at all. But we probably could have done a little bit better job if we had a little bit more fast production and stuff. So that is the 4th tier. Effective? Yeah, it is. It's pretty good, but overall, I wouldn't really recommend doing it as like a normal tower in your BT5 arsenal unless you really have a good solid defense already, and you're like, I just want to make sure that I don't lose here, just in case any balloons sneak through. That would be something you'd probably want to get. Now we move on to these upgrades right here. They faster production, increase the rate of spike production. So I'm going to show you guys 2 different spike factories. We're going to have this one right here, and this one right here, and this one right here. I want to try and get them in kind of small piles, so I want to put this one maybe, I don't know, small pile area. I suppose this will have to do reasonably small piles. You got this pile right here, and this pile right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this one to nothing. I'm going to upgrade this one to faster production, and this one to even faster production, just so you guys can see what happens. So we're going to go red balloon. What's the difference? Notice this one's really, really quick. This one's decently quick. This one has only shot out 3 already. This one shot out way more than that. Seems like this one almost shoots out 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4 to 5 per time this guy sends out spikes, where this guy sends out 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, about 3 every time this one sends one out. Maybe 2.5 or so. But this one is obviously a lot more compared to this one, and it's just, obviously, the more spikes you get, the better you're off, but of course you want to get higher upgrades before you start getting these faster productions. You don't want to get a 0-2 Spike Factory. Absolutely worthless, guys. At least get a 1-2, and then more preferably would be some sort of 3-2 or 4-2 Spike Factory. Those would be the best bets for you. I don't think faster production is one of those things that's really worth it. It's $1,250 for the second upgrade, so just not worth it at all for these little upgrades. So no matter what, when you're getting a Spike Factor, the first upgrade should be bigger stacks. No matter what. I don't even care what the heck you're doing. Get the bigger stacks upgrade for sure. First upgrade. Next thing that you probably want to worry about is some sort of Moab Shredder Spikes. So this is something where you could probably maybe end up using this guy as some sort of closer to the front Spike Factory. And that's what makes it kind of bad, actually, is because there's a lot of balloons that are going to be popping out of here that are going to be taking up all your spikes, so they really don't hit the Moabs very often, and really not worth it very much. There are a few exceptions. On a few of these random levels, what you can end up doing is you can actually put the spike, especially in Bloons Bucket City, you can have like 2 entrances right next to each other. You can have the spikes go on the outside entrance, and then a Moab is actually so big that when it comes in on this entrance and goes through all the way around here, then leaves, it'll actually pick up the spikes that are at the end here, and it'll break down the Moab layer. So that's one way that you can actually use these Moab spikes, probably the most efficiently that it's probably the most efficient way that you can actually use them. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think it's a very good upgrade, guys. I don't think it's that amazing. I mean, obviously, look at this. Check this out. It's gonna take down a Moab very, very easily. It just popped a Moab with, you know, almost instantaneously nothing else in the way. So I mean, obviously, when you get to a BFB and stuff, it's gonna be completely different. But if you put Spike Factory in like the middle of the map, I mean, maybe you could take down a BFB. But at the same time, it's like, why the heck would you do that? You just don't want to do that. It's just a silly little thing to do. Also keep in mind that I had a 0.3 Spike Factory before. I didn't have a 1.3, which is, like I said, highly recommended to do it like that. And then, you know, like the main problem is, watch this BFB. The BFB is going to pop, the first Moab is going to pop, and then the ceramics that are going to come out and just run right through your entire set of spikes here, or most of them, and then the rest of the Moabs aren't going to have much spikes left over to get popped with. So it's just not fun. Look at that. The ceramics are just going to tank all the damage, and one of the Moabs just sneaks right through. He did a decent job. I mean, we took a BFB down 3/4 of the way, and only a few Bloons left, but it's really just not an efficient way to do it. It's not an efficient way to do it at all. Unless you spam crap loads of these, like, all over the front here, and then you use that for Moab power, and then you have some sort of good, like, ice tower in the back here. That could be a decent way to go about doing it. You know, you can get a bunch of 3-1s. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now you can have a couple BFBs here, and you can probably do a pretty decent job against them. Not an amazing job, but definitely a decent job. And especially because you're going to shoot a lot of spikes on the random Moabs that are popping out in here. And like I said, you're not doing an amazing job, but you're doing a pretty darn decent job. Oh, here's another good spot for a Spike Factory that I never even thought about before. Oh yeah, look, I never even thought about this. If you can get a Spike Factory to build spikes only right here, it'd be very, very awesome. I don't think it's possible, but actually might work right there. But if you got this one right here, let's check it out. Kind of just want to see. You want, oh yeah, there's a spot over here as well. Well, let's check it out. Let's see what happens. You want the spikes all right here, because what's going to happen is the Moab is actually going to go over this little pathway, little thingamabob, but the Bloons are going to go underneath it, so you're only going to get Moab popping power out of the spikes that are on right here, except if they go all the way through to the other side over here, which is probably not very likely at all. Anyways, let's move on to the 4th tier upgrade for the Spike Factory, which is the 1, 2, 3, and the Spike Storm upgrade. So this is something that actually is more efficient than the 0.3 Spike Factory. If you're going to get this, the Moab Mauler thingamabob, get this guy right here, because he's pretty darn amazing. Now keep in mind that this also does matter if you get the bigger stacks and the white hot spikes. If you get both of those upgrades, it's going to make it so his ability actually, oh, sad face, it's going to make his ability actually make those spikes as well, not just when he spews them out normally. So we got these two, and then you use this thing right here, and you got double the popping power right there with just those, and you got lead popping power and stuff, so nothing is going to actually cause any problems. Sadly enough, I don't believe it is able to pop frozen Bloons, which is kind of a problem, I suppose. Actually, let's get rid of this guy. We're going to do this really quick. We're going to go cha and frozen Bloons. Let's see if it does anything. It does indeed not do anything. So the Spike Factory is not any frozen popping power, just lead popping power, which is kind of sad. There's no way that a Spike Factory can pop frozen Bloons, even though there probably should be. There probably should be a way to do that, even though it seems kind of contrary to belief, because frozen Bloons don't move and Spike Factories don't really move, but you can like put spikes on top of frozen Bloons in the first place, like this. You could do that if you wanted to, and that'd be kind of cool. Actually, wait, there is a way to pop frozen Bloons. There's this guy right here. So if we get a bunch of these guys, we'll just go ka-cha. Way to pop frozen Bloons, I suppose. You just put them on top of them. It's kind of a cool way to do it, I suppose. Kind of interesting, because it explodes. I'm not even sure how it actually works, to be honest with you guys. I really have no idea, but it's just cool the way to think about that. I don't know. I would never do that in the first place, but it's just cool to think about. Cool to think about. And that's pretty much it. So let's recap the Spike Factory real quick. Where do you want to put a Spike Factory? Always put it in the back, unless you are very, very pro. Always get this 0-1 up, or the 1-0 upgrade first, the bigger stacks, and then beyond that, you probably want to go for some sort of, you know, Spike Ball Factory with faster production, or even faster production. You can take down a lot of Bloons. Take down a whole lot of Bloons with these guys. These guys are pretty darn amazing for Bloon popping power. Not perfect, but pretty darn amazing. You can see we can take down a lot of these rainbows, which is this stuff right here. But again, Spike Factories are not really good versus Bloons. They're not very effective. They're more of like a, holy crap, Bloons are getting through. I have something in the back there to just make sure that nothing gets through. So that's what he's used for, just to make sure nothing gets through. After your towers do all their popping power that they could possibly have done. Fourth tier Spike Factory, very, very nice. You can get both fourth tier Spike Factory upgrades are very sweet. You can get the left-sided Spike Mines upgrade, which is a very good upgrade to use kind of in the back here, or just kind of in the middle of the map if you so desire. Not amazing, but definitely something interesting to do. Explosions all over the place. That's cool. A bunch of cool explosions. The 2-4 Spike Factory is the Moab Shredder thingamabob, and he shoots spikes all over the place. Pretty decent versus Moabs, because usually you want to pop the Moabs with that guy, and if you shoot him all over the place, he's going to pop Moabs, and also just a little bit of Bloons as well. So overall, a very effective upgrade if you ask me. Not the most efficient thing to do in the entire world. You know, usually if you're going to use a Spike Factory, you want to stay with the low-level upgrades, and that's just about it. 0-0 Spike Factory or 1-0 Spike Factory for the most part. Anyways, that's all I'm going to have for you guys today, so as always, thanks for watching, and have a super-duper delicious day. Hey there guys, I'm Super John Bumbo, also known as Chris. Hopefully you enjoyed the videos. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, like, or favorite any of them that you want to. Also, we've got a bunch of other cool videos here if you want to check them out. We got just a random video, we got Bloons Monkey City, or if you want to check out random mod series, those are personally my favorite videos to make. Also, we got a new channel here called Super Science, so if you haven't checked out any of my science videos and you just want to learn something, go ahead and check that out. Thanks for watching guys, and have a super duper delicious day.